Ah, there we go. Yo, good afternoon. Live from Quarantine Central, reporting here is Travis from the Good and Terrible Show, and as with me always is the Mickey, and we are here today to give you a little update from the Good and Terrible Show from coronavirus, right in the heart of the virus. Still stuck in quarantine, still at home, still bored as hell.
I'm not bored. I like being at home.
I mean, I find ways to entertain myself, but I'd still rather be outside.
Yeah, because you're
Cinco
extra.
de, Cinco de Mayo is coming up, and I'm supposed to be in a drink. I'm supposed to be in a drinking establishment with a cup in my hand, eating some
Uh-huh.
freshly made tacos, listening to music with lyrics I don't know. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. All right,
You remember
that's what
Dave
I'm supposed to be
Chappelle
doing.
show when they did the episode and it said Mexican gibberish? And I was like, what? That's crazy.
Yo, hey, that's what I don't care what it is. I'm here. I'm with it.
Oh,
Drunk dancing to it.
yeah.
I'll be up in there.
Hitting the little
You know, suavemente, suavemente.
it's the
I'm
only
there.
song
I'm with it.
it's the only song you know.
Nah.
Oh my God. All right,
Oh
guys.
man.
So
All right,
today
guys.
so today we're going to talk about a topic that I found on Instagram that I thought was interesting, and it pertains to Corona. The person that wrote it actually did a tweet, and her tweet said, and her name is Inu Jod. It looks like her display name is June, so I'm assuming her name is June. Hey June, I don't know you, but hey girl. So
Uh,
her tweet said, "Corona helped me this year. I don't know. I was overwhelmed. I'm sorry. She said, Corona helped me this year. IDC, which is I don't care. I guess she's saying she doesn't care that.
why don't you just say the phrase?
Okay, IDC. I
No, what?
what what?
Why don't you just say I don't care?
Oh, all right. Let me start over. I can read, guys. I
I
promise.
remember the first time I learned to read.
It's been a long time. Corona helped me this year. I don't care. I was overwhelmed and life was getting out of hand for me. It's kind of like God just stopped the world for me to catch my breath and get myself back together. I'm grateful, honestly. And for me, I identify with what she said because I kind of felt the same way back in like February before it kind of hit the US like hard like it is now. And I was telling Travis that I can identify with what she's saying, even though on the other side of that, of course, Corona is not a positive thing. But I think positive things can come out of it if you use the time wisely. For me personally, I was feeling overwhelmed. I had already planned on taking a break from everything but this show from March until like mid-April, not do any photography, no videography, none of that stuff. I don't know if we talked about it before, but we're both photographers. So we have the show, full-time job, photography, personal life. You know, you want to go out and have fun. It's a lot that goes into trying to like manage your time. And for me, when I get frustrated, a lot of times it's because I'm doing too much and I need to learn how to like sit still and relax. So I had already planned on taking a break. So when what was it like March 13th when we got sent home to work remotely, I was like excited because I was like, good, this is gonna be like a nice break. I didn't think the break would last this long, of course, and I didn't think it would turn into something that's probably gonna be, I think, like the rest of the year where we're gonna be quarantined. Um, but to me personally, I agree with what she was saying as far as like feeling overwhelmed and God kind of stopping everything for I think everybody to kind of like reflect on what's important versus what really isn't important. And I don't know if you want to speak to that as well too, or
Um, so I was thinking a little bit about coronavirus as well. This was a subject that obviously you had approached me with, and we thought about it a little bit. So I'm
mm-hmm.
a big believer that obviously God has a plan for everything, right? Now, obviously, He didn't create coronavirus. Most of the things that's wrong with the world is because of men. It's not because of God. It's because of men and our downfall. Men with a capital M, meaning humans,
Right.
not literally like men for the male haters out there before they jump on it. Men meaning the humans. Most of the things that happen bad in the world are because of humans,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously it was created. Um, you can believe which narrative you want to. Obviously, there's a lot of new evidence that just came out just saying that it's not really from bats as people were thinking, but it was created in a lab in China. So humans had accidentally let this out, and this is by fault of humans. But God is also an opportunist, and He has a plan for everything. So seeing the situation and how it was broke, obviously He knew this was going to happen before all of us knew it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So using this, I do think that God has put purpose into the coronavirus for a lot of different things. Some, are great for humans, and some are not great for humans, to be frankly honest. And I think, there's a lot of both positive and negatives that have come out of this coronavirus situation. Number one is that I think He's using this to heal the earth. It's no secret that the most dangerous creatures on this earth are human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think since you've seen a lot of the countries being in quarantine around the world over the last few months, obviously you've seen a decrease in pollution, increase in animals being able to freely walk around. They're multiplying, and then populations are helping out. There's a lot of really good environmental um, effects that are taking part because of the coronavirus, because humans are not interacting with them as much, which speaks to just how much of a danger we ourselves are.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, I think He actually is, making the human race suffer a little bit, because I think we've done a lot to move away from God as a society, as a population. And I don't know how much folks out there are reading the Bible or anything like that, but there are several passages where He talks about things that He will do when He feels His people are moving away from Him. Right? We saw the locusts in Africa. You know what I'm saying? We've seen the terrible weather situations and all these different things. Now we got freaking killer hornets in the United States, out on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of these things that I feel like He's saying, hey, listen, I'm still here. Y'all need to get right. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Is some of these, they are sounding very plague-ish.
Yeah.
So uh, I think I think one of the purposes is to, like, hey, we need a reality check, to, like, hey, maybe we need to get back to putting Him more central in our lives as a human race. So
Yeah.
just a couple of different things. Obviously, I'm not condoning or saying it's okay for the people that are suffering. Obviously a lot of people have lost loved ones out there, and certainly we're very fortunate that ourselves and our families are okay. You
Yeah.
know, but overall, I think it's still something that is in part of God's plan.
Yeah. And like you said, like, of course, it wasn't like God said, I'm going to, send this corona. Like you said, a lot of things that happen in the world are human error, human greed, and, things like that.
Yeah.
So that plays a part in it too. But out of, I think, bad situations come good things. Um, and for people that are, like you said, me and you, our families, knock on wood, prayerfully, we haven't lost anybody. We haven't lost anyone close to us, but people have. But
Hmm.
outside of that, loss of life is always terrible. Loss of losing someone, whether they're close to you, whether they're family, friends, always going to be hard. But my question to myself is, what are you doing with this extra time that you have available? Are you using it wisely, or are you just chilling and watching Netflix every day after work? Like, that to me was something that I got this time frame, and I don't know how long we're going to be quarantined. I personally think it's going to be to the end of the year, but life as we know it, life as we knew it before, I think is gone. I think things will probably continue to be this way as far as us, like, wearing masks when we go out, wearing gloves, doing the 6 feet thing. That's probably going to continue because people are going to be
Not
more.
forever.
You don't think so?
Nah.
I do.
To say that life is gone, nah. Life
I
is
don't think it's
halted.
gone, but
It's halted.
I think that the behaviors that were like wearing my mask to the store and gloves are like second nature to me. I think that that's going to continue, at least for me personally. I'm
Some
gonna.
people were doing it long before Corona.
They have, but I think now it's more, people are more aware of, like, there's obviously things you can't see that are going on, but a disease and a virus like this is like, or virus, not disease. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's still a disease.
Oh, okay, I didn't know like the technical.
Viruses,
but
diseases, illnesses, they're
yeah,
all
there's something, of course, you can't see, but no one has a sign on their head that says I have corona, so it's like anybody can have it. So just taking that extra precaution, I think, is something that we probably will continue to do for a while. And because of that being said, well, because of that, I think that people have to take of course, the good with the bad. Like you said, with the environment improving, the ozone layer, air is clear. Yesterday, when I was out helping my dad, I saw families just ride their bikes together. A lot of different people, and I was like, wow. Like, think about let's say 6 months ago, you wouldn't see a whole family on a Saturday riding their bikes together. Most of them might have been doing their own
some
thing.
of them.
Some of them, but to the point where I was like, wow, that's like 4 or 5 different families all walking together, all jogging, or all riding their bikes. Or you're seeing people going to the parks more often now. It seems like the family unit, as far as I've seen, has become stronger, and people are actually talking to their families and, you know, getting to know each other better, husband and wives, children, siblings. Like, I would say the people in your household, if you live with someone, you're kind of getting closer to them because you're stuck in the house with them, for God knows how long. So I think that
Could be getting close. Could be growing farther apart depending on where you at.
right. I was gonna say that too, because a lot of marriages, unfortunately, are ending or have ended, and people are getting divorced. There's also there's a lot more domestic abuse that goes on apparently now because people are stuck, together. Whether that abuse has
I won't
started.
say a lot more. It's just in those households, it's not really more per se. Like, the abusers were still being abusers. Like, abusers are
Right
always,
before.
maybe not always, but have always been abusers. And now they could go to work or go somewhere else as an escape, whether
Mhm.
they themselves or their victims being their spouses or family members or children or whatever. Those who are being abused,
Yeah.
have places to go to escape. Now, if they're
Mhm.
at home, obviously there's not animals. We see animals walking around. You know what I'm saying? You saw lions chilling in the middle of city streets in Africa. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? You saw coyotes walking the streets of Chicago. You know what I'm
I didn't
saying?
see that. I
There,
didn't
yeah.
see coyotes.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I saw a picture. Somebody posted it a few weeks back. There was a coyote, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. A coyote walking right in the middle of the city street in Chicago. Um, Cause why not? Ain't nobody gonna hurt them. I saw literally yesterday, right in front of my apartment, I saw a raccoon just chilling there. Wasn't even afraid, just
Mhm.
walking literally right in the street right in front of my car.
Nice.
I've lived here for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen squirrels, birds, chipmunks, all that stuff. Even saw a snake or two. You know, Never once seen a raccoon. Yesterday was the first time I've seen a raccoon in 4 years over here, and I'd be outside.
Right.
So these animals are coming out, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know,
And they're comfortable. They're like, hey, look,
yeah,
nobody's
they chilling.
nobody's gonna run me over. Nobody's driving.
They chilling.
They're chilling, and I feel like they have a right to chill.
Yeah.
We've been annoying them for thousands of years, and like finally some alone
Right.
time.
Yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of things that's coming out of this thing, good or bad. You know, Earth hasn't seen something like this in a long time, but they've seen things like this, obviously, with the Black Plague and Spanish flu and all those type of things.
Mhm.
Life is gonna get back to normal at some point. You can't keep you can't keep 7 human beings 6 feet away from each other for life. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's always gonna be able to wear their gloves or feel like wearing all those gloves. It's gonna be for a while, obviously, till this thing is finally corralled in where it's supposed to be, but it's
Mhm.
not gonna be like this forever, you know.
Yeah.
But one of the things that people should remember is that, like you touched on earlier, finding ways to stay productive is all great, is all cool. I mean, a lot of great ideas and a lot of great work has been done when people are forced into struggling situations.
Yeah.
So this is a good time to make sure you're doing productive things. But even if you're not, that's still okay.
Yeah.
If you're taking this time in the middle of a pandemic to just love your family, get to love yourself a little better, get to love your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, a little bit better, or just work on yourself or get an escape from anxiety, depression, or anything like that, that's still okay too. You're
Mhm.
still that's still productive in some type of way. So
Yeah.
you can stay busy or you can't, as long as you spending it with a good intention or a good purpose.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, working on, like, if you want to work on something, or if you don't, sometimes I think we put pressure on ourselves to be like, I gotta like have a new skill by the time quarantine is over. You don't have to. If you want to work on something, that's great. But I've taken the time to try to learn how to rest and sleep. I don't like to get up early. I'm not a morning person. I will stay up till 3 a.m. and we have to log on for work at 9. So I'll get up 8:30 and I'm exhausted. And then by like 6 o'clock, I'm like, well, maybe 6:30 after I log off, I'm taking a cat nap in this chair. I'm just like, because my body needs to rejuvenate. But then I'm up again, so 2 or 3 in the morning, and it's like that cycle continues. So I'm trying to learn how to get in bed by at least 1 a.m. at the latest, so
Take a
that
sleeping pill.
I have melatonin. The only thing about it is if I take it and I don't have a big enough window, I'll be drowsy when I wake up, and I hate being drowsy.
If you
So
take it when you go into bed earlier, you ain't gonna be drowsy.
no, I still feel it. Like it has a longer effect. I don't know whether it's just because I don't take medicine like that and it is more potent. But
Probably
like,
because your body's trying to capitalize and make up for some of that sleep. Because
yeah,
you're missing out on a lot of sleep. I don't
yeah.
sleep that much either, but I sleep more than you do. I know that.
How many hours do you think like a day on average?
I don't know, man. Probably like 6.
6. Yeah. Sometimes I'll be pushing it with like 5 or 4.
Yeah,
And
sometimes I do. Anywhere between like 5 and 7. I don't. I like never get 8, but
yeah,
it's anywhere between like 5 and 7 hours a night. I
yeah.
feel like it's what I get.
And 8 to me is like, oof. I get 8 hours of sleep. If I get the other part of it, if I get too much sleep, then I'm like I do if I take the melatonin, I'm drowsy. So I'm trying to find that happy medium, since we're both working at home, we're working remotely, we don't have to get up and go anywhere. So I'm like trying to train myself to be on a schedule, even though we're quarantined and I can have my free time after I log off from work to do anything I want. I'm trying to train myself to say, you need to be in the bed by 1 a.m. at the latest and going to sleep, not getting in bed at 2 and then going to sleep at 3 or 3:30. So learning these, learning how to rest, learning how to get proper sleep may sound silly to someone that already does that, but for me, that's a big thing because my sleep schedule has always been kind of off because I'm a night owl. So I'll be up at 2 a.m. I cleaned my fridge out last week at like 4:30 in the morning because I was awake and I was like, might as well just, go ahead and knock it out. But I want to be where I'm getting up early, getting things done in the daytime like a normal person, and then going to sleep and then having that rest time so that I capitalize on my day versus trying to cram everything in at one
So
time.
you need a little boot thing. That's what it is. You need somebody that's gonna put you to sleep. That's that's all that is. That's
No comment. I don't
ah.
that, sir. My Christian beliefs, I don't know what you're talking about putting to sleep. I don't know what
Interesting.
that means.
Oh, interesting.
My virgin ears are burning right now, sir.
Oh, are they? You should get that checked out.
He's like, I know what you need. Let me go on Instagram and send you some profiles. We'll find you. Um, uh, so learning, for me, the biggest thing is learning how to capitalize on time, learning how to rest and relax, and learning how to say no is another thing I have to learn how to do, because I'll say yes to doing 3 different things and helping somebody do something, and by the end of the day I'm like depleted, and now when I have to do my own stuff I don't want to do it because I've used up all of my energy. So that sleep thing for me is like a big thing. Another thing that I agree with her on what she was saying, just kind of taking a break and resetting. I want to start a website for my photography business, and that in itself is a big task. And when we were, going out, going to the office or whatever, a lot of times that would kind of take up, most of the day. But now I'm like, okay, I have extra time because I'm physically at home. And instead of watching TV, I need to be jotting down ideas. I could be working on personal goals, like kind of just bettering myself. So then instead of me just aimlessly watching Netflix for 4 or 5 hours or watching YouTube like I normally do, maybe I sit down and do, personal goals and do, online classes and training, work on my website, work on new ideas. So that to me is like using this time wisely, but also trying to come out of it better than I was when we went in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want a 4-day work week, that means you got 3 days where you ain't doing nothing. So
Yeah.
find something to do and do it.
Yeah. And even I still work on two of the days that were off, technically. I'm just
Well, that's your fault.
I'm just working extra. Because I think I might be a workaholic.
Sounds like it.
Someone brought that up to me recently. Like you said with the control thing. I was like, yeah, I think I might have to swallow that I might be a little bit of workaholic a little bit. Because I just like being busy and I like working. And then I don't let myself rest. And I always feel like I got to do this right now. I got to do this right now.
And you don't.
And I don't. But my brain is like my anxiety will kick up and I'm like, oh, I need to get this done right at this moment. So
I told you a long time ago, you be making your own little schedules, even at work. You be like, oh, I gotta get this done now. Even you don't even be taking like when we was in the office, you don't even be taking like 10-minute breaks. You're like, oh, I gotta get this done. No, you don't. You don't. Like whatever you can get done now, you can.
I work.
Yeah. Like no, you can get that done an hour later and you'll be all right.
I don't know how to relax and like chill and not do, like you said, not make a fake schedule unless it has a real deadline. But I make my own deadlines and it has to be done in that
All
time.
I do is relax. I'm the whole opposite. All I do is relax. Even when I'm working, because I actually do put in work. You can tell Mickey, you can ask Mickey, I be, putting in work at my job. But even when I'm working, I still be relaxed. I'll be the most laid back, chill person. I'm like, hey, it's gonna get done. And I'll get it done. But I'm never gonna sweat it. I'm super laid back with it. It's gonna get done. It's just gonna get done when I want to get done.
When we were in the office, he'll walk around. I'm like, shouldn't you be working? He's like, oh, I'm just, taking a 5-10 minute. And I'm like, I don't do that.
It's gonna get done.
Other than the restroom, I'm locked in. Headphones on, headset on. I'm locked into what I'm doing. But then that's what happens. I get frustrated. Like by the end of the day, my brain is just like drained. And
at the end of the day, I'm like this. I was so cool.
Energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm too tense.
All type of research. There's all type of research out there that says you need to be taking regular breaks during your workday.
Yeah. I do at home. I'll get up, like when my watch tells me to get up every hour, I'll get up and kind of just stand up and stretch. So at home, I think I do a little bit better because I'm by myself. But even still, I'll be like, it was midnight last week. I logged on for like 2 hours because I wasn't sleepy. And I was like, oh, I'll just log back in and do some more work. So I think that the work.
This is how much, for y'all out there watching the show right now, this is how much Mickey don't be relaxing, okay? Right now, we've probably put out like 5 episodes during this quarantine. So since over the last month and a half, since we've been sitting at home, we've probably put out like 5 episodes, something like that. How many episodes we done?
It's been 4.
4. Well, this would be number 5 then. So like I said, yeah, we done put out 5 episodes. If it was up to me, y'all might have got like 1 or 2, because I'd be chilling. Like the only reason we be doing these many episodes is because she be hitting me up like, yo, you want to do this? Like, yo, we should film something. We should put another thing out. I'll be like, all right, okay. And that's literally it. That's literally like the conversation. I'd be like, all right, cool. Like if it was up to me, not that I don't care about y'all, I still love y'all for watching. But if it was up to me, I'd be chilling. I'd be at home watching TV, on social media, doing something. Y'all still hear from me, but it's gonna get done. It's gonna get done when it gets done.
Versus me, I'm stressing out like we haven't posted all week. We need to do something. Because I'm always like, my mind is always like, I'm always thinking 10 steps ahead of everything. Like I'm already trying to plan out the rest of May for like topics and episodes where he's chilling and he's like, yeah, we'll get it done. And I'm like, no, we gotta boom, 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 boom. So maybe I need to learn from you. Can I take your online course? Teach me how to relax.
$50.
$50. You gonna charge me for it?
I'll give you a $5 discount.
Oh my gosh.
It's a business.
You're abusing the coronavirus. You're abusing my what do they call it? Like price gouging, because you know I can't go anywhere else. You're like, hey,
Hey, listen.
I'm the only game in town.
Hey, listen. When you're good at something, never do it for free.
I think that everybody, even if they've experienced a loss, can say that they feel, well, I don't know how to say that. I think that even people that have lost someone, or they're even still grieving right now, can still see that. I think the way we were going before, as far as just being so focused on ourselves and not really spending time with our families or spending time with our kids or even just talking to people. Like now you'll see like celebrities doing like, lives with people that they know, but maybe they haven't really sat down and talked to them, or people reconciling, or people saying, hey, that argument we got into 2 months ago, I apologize, or, it's not that big of a deal, because nobody knows when their last day is going to be. But I think now even more so, life seems more precious. I don't know if this feels like that to you, like that those moments that you have to spend time with people, even if it's just a quick phone call, it means more now, because you don't know, if 5 or 6 months from now that person's going to really be here. And with the virus, it's even more so like that, because we have to go out to get food, we got to go out to get supplies, we're going to have to go outside, but the risk factor is heightened now, I feel like. And I'm more appreciative of the small things: having a job, having a place to stay, having food, having a car. Some people pre-corona, didn't have any of those things, and they're struggling. So I'm appreciative of just the small little things that I have that other people may not have, but understanding that all of that can be taken away just like this.
Yeah.
So I try to stay in that grateful mind state as much as possible. I do.
Absolutely.
Everybody has their moments like, man, I wish I could do X, Y, and Z. I really wanted to go to brunch. I had a dream I was at brunch last week. It was an awesome dream. I was eating omelets. I had mimosas. Oh,
do you know how many Taco Tuesdays I've missed out on? Do you know how many Taco Tuesdays? Listen, this virus hurt me emotionally on a different level. Why? Because what's my favorite food? Chinese food. My favorite food is Chinese food, and I was scared as hell to eat that for like a whole month.
Oh my God.
I haven't had it delivered now. I mean, not that I'm scared now. I would definitely eat it, but I haven't had Chinese food in probably like 3 weeks. I normally eat Chinese food like
every
at least
week.
3 times a week. You know what I'm saying?
To the Chinese food place in the mall.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? At least at a bare minimum, like twice a week, I would have some type of Chinese food.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've had it 2-3 times since over the last month and a half.
And you would eat out. He would eat out daily. Like I feel like every day you went out for lunch. I've never seen you bring food in.
Maybe like twice in the last year.
Yeah, like so you go out more often, I feel like, to eat than anybody else I know. So I know it hurts you, because it's like you can go pick up. The great part is you can go to restaurants and get your food, but you got to take it to go.
I ain't even been doing that. Well, a little bit. I got pizza delivered like twice, and then I had Chinese food delivered once. You know
but
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
like Fridays or like Uncle
None of that.
Something. None of that. Okay.
I'm not even a big fan of Uncle Julio's.
Really?
Nah.
What?
Nah, bro. They drinks is cool.
That's what I got.
Not their food. I'm a big Mexican food fan. Uncle Julio's is not it. Uncle Julio's is not it.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. Now La Toteca?
I haven't been there yet. They kept telling me to go. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, see, that's your fault. That's why you like Uncle Julio's. Uncle Julio's is
I
not
haven't been exposed to the other options.
Don Pablo. You said Don Pablo's up in Sterling.
They closed all of them. I think they went out.
Yeah, they did, because they had one out in White Marsh too in Maryland. Both of them was fire. I love them.
Yeah.
Even on the border which is like like a chain like Tex-Mex and stuff. That's still better than on the border is definitely better than Uncle Julio's.
You think so? I have to go try it. I'm gonna go to Cordoba. Is that
Cordoba?
Cordoba. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, but that's like Chipotle.
Oh yeah. Well,
it's better than Chipotle, but it's like Chipotle.
Maybe I'll go to Taco Bomba. I'm trying to choose a place because Cinco de Mayo is, of course, Tuesday. So
Taco Bomba's good.
I think I'm going to do Taco Bomba, and I'm going to get a chicharron quesadilla, which is my favorite. and just take it. You know, you gotta take it to go. Just take it to go and bring it home. But what I was gonna say about Uncle Julio's, they have to go margaritas that I tried, and they're really good and they're very strong. Because I got one for me and my mom, and I was like, oh, they put a lot of
So
tequila.
I've had that margarita. I haven't had it to go. I had it,
They
back
put
when
it
they
in
were
nice.
still doing
They put it
dine
in
in and
a
stuff.
cup. You can get the margarita set, and they actually give you like a almost like about like this size of a bottle to go, and they give you the plastic cups, and you can get like a platter of
See,
fruit.
that's too much. That's just too much for me. I feel like people doing way too much when it comes to this. So like for me, unless honestly, I'm getting like all my stuff at the grocery store or those like select few times when I've had something delivered. I'm not doing too much of these getting stuff from restaurants because you don't know who got it on their staff either. And you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like people are really still to this day taking this quarantine stuff lightly. People still going out, walking around, doing jogs in the park. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
out
mean you
here,
can go out and
somebody. No, bro. Like people. Somebody was telling me, I've seen multiple people having house parties and kickbacks and get-togethers and stuff. But we under 10 people. No, what? But your little 5, 6 people that you hanging out with was still, hanging out with 5, 6 other people at some point who might have been hanging out with 5, 6 other. There's a network, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you in close quarters, come on.
I'm
People just still
guilty.
doing all this.
I'm guilty of that because I was at a kickback last night, but it was five of us.
Oh yeah, see, look at you.
It was my family.
Look,
So
all y'all out there, I don't know who need to hear this, but get back in the house. Take your stuff and get back in the house. Don't make me get this belt out. Get in the house.
all you see is this. You know what? I'm tired of my
I'm tired. Every time I go to the store, I'll be like to the gas station, to the grocery, something like that. Every time I always see just people out here doing willy nilly stuff. I saw a mother with like 2 small kids walking down the street. None of them had masks. None of them had gloves. None of that. Just chilling, walking through like a
yeah,
busy street. Like come on, son.
yeah. The kids thing for me, I think is more like my nieces. They both have masks. My sister ordered for them, but she doesn't take them out to the store. But she has that luxury because she has, me, their dad, family to watch them while she goes to the store. So everybody doesn't have that luxury. They're single parents, mother or father, where it's just them, so they can't, leave their kid at home and go to the store, kind of shield them from being out amongst everybody. Now, the walking thing, that's a choice, but I just feel like you you gotta go outside. You do need vitamin D. You can't sit in the house all day long. It's
Yes,
not
you can. You got windows. You got
no.
you got a front porch.
You
Some
need
people got balconies.
everybody doesn't have porches. Everybody doesn't have balconies. I don't have a balcony.
I said some people. Everybody has a front step, a front stool, something. Like you
But
you you have a
people
door.
there might be people there though. That's the other thing. Like even we live in
So you
apartments.
still, so even if there was people there, you still have to walk past those people to get outside anyway to get your vitamin D, as you saying.
True.
So you know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
this is the other thing I think. No matter what, you're going to be exposed to other people. When you go to the grocery store, whether you're in a mask or
Yeah,
not, you're exposed to other
but you
people.
want to limit that experience as much as you can, right?
Yeah,
You're gonna need to come in contact with people, obviously, eventually. And this bugs me about grocery stores too. I was just talking about this last week. Most of these grocery stores got mandates now about how many people can be in the store at one time, right? Like they'll have like a line outside, which bugs me. Like you'll have a line outside of people that are supposed to be social distancing, but you got 50, 60 people standing in a line in front of
you're
you. So
not
that's
six
number
feet.
one. Some people don't care. People don't listen. They're supposed to
Yeah,
be 6 feet. Like they'll put little markers outside, but people be standing mad close, yo.
yeah.
I have to like give people dirty looks all the time. Like, yo, back up off me. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first part. So they have people standing in lines, and then when you get into the store, they don't have mandates. They have mandates for how many people can be in the store, but not
Mhm.
how many people can be in an aisle.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? That's what
yeah.
bugs me. You know what I'm saying? You can have 50 people in a store at one time, right? And so if it's a big store that you think they'd be spaced out, but you could have 20 of those people in 2 aisles at one time. You know what I'm saying?
Which
And,
defeats the
and they,
purpose.
you know what I'm saying? And people still don't care about the social distancing. People still be in the grocery store of all places with no
Mm-hmm.
mask, no glove, nothing like that,
Raw.
walking up right on you.
Listen,
Right on you. You're
living
supposed to
raw.
be at least, there'll be signs everywhere in the store saying please be at least one cart space away from each other. People don't care. They will literally go right up on you because all they care about is getting their little thing and then going home. Like, bruh, you don't see me in this. I will wait. I will wait for you to get up out that aisle so I can have the aisle to myself.
I
And
do the
then what
same
bugs
thing.
me is that there'll be like 3 or 4 other people that be coming in the aisle when I get in there. Like, yo, back up.
Like let me get my cheese and my yogurt, and then y'all can come behind me and get your,
You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
not that difficult. People just don't listen. So that's what I'm saying. Like, as dumb as this is why it's been perpetuating so long. Is now, before it was just on the West Coast, then it came out here to the East Coast, you know what I'm saying, to like New York and stuff. It was up in like the Northeast, and went down south. Now you see, you know, it's terrible in Florida and Georgia and all that stuff. Then it, you know, it finally moved its way to the middle of the country. You know, now states like Kentucky, where nobody be living, be having, you know, COVID cases and all that stuff like that. Texas has been hit real bad. You know, Missouri. You know what I'm saying? Like all these places in the middle of the country now. You know what I'm saying? Because people just being stupid, people still doing what they want to do, thinking that they can do life as normal. It's like, you can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, the 6 feet thing for me is annoying. The other thing is I was in Walmart. I went to Walmart for the first time ever since this all started, because I go to Aldi's and Family Dollar for all my stuff. I went to Walmart. I was like, I will never come back into Walmart ever again. It wasn't even my Walmart by me.
See,
People
I'll be
were,
going to Walmart just because it's like a one-stop shop. Like,
it
there's
is.
a lot of stuff that I can't buy if I go to an Aldi or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most of the dollar stores ain't even open. Dollar Tree was closed.
Family Dollar's always been open. You know, I go to Family Dollar. I don't go to Dollar. I go to Dollar Tree if I need to, but Family Dollar has food. They have cleaning supplies. That's what I get my cleaning supplies, toiletries, all of that stuff is from Family Dollar. So when I went with my dad yesterday, we're in line and there's people literally like, my plant is here. The chick is right here. And I'm looking at her like, I'm not trying to be rude because, you know, I'm not confrontational, but I'm just like, you know, you do look back and you wait for the person to go, oh, you know, she didn't do that. She just
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The checkout lines is another thing. That's what I hate too. And what bugs me is that, like, I was in Safeway, and you know, I'm in the self checkout line because I don't. That's one less person that I don't want to touch my groceries. I don't even wait in the aisles. You know what I'm saying? Plus, it's just quicker when you self checkout. So I'm doing the self checkout, and like the machines are kind of close to each other, right? They're not 6 feet, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
you got
no.
like, you know, 6,
Like
7, 8 machines like right there or whatever. They're
right.
they're pretty close to each other, and the employees will sit there and wave people over. Like, I'm like, all right, I'll purposely go to one where there's like 2 open, so like I can have like my space, you know, whatever. And the employees will be like, oh, this one's open right here, and wave the next person. I'm like, come on, yo, like, what are you doing?
You trying to kill me?
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, just because you hate your life because you out here working right now does not mean I gotta hate mine.
I just think, like you said, it's redundant to have 50 people in the store, have them line up single file all together. Then it's redundant to have the aisles, like you said, all open where they're not limiting how many people go in each aisle, because it almost defeats the purpose of the other. If we're not streamlining everything, we're not accomplished. It's like, really, you're not accomplishing anything because you're undoing what you just did.
Exactly. It literally makes no sense. The people, and you know, these fitness folks, you know, they be driving me crazy with all these posts talking about they missed the gym, but they still, you know, they'll go outside to the park and go on these runs, go on these jogs, doing all these exercises, and they'll pull their little mats out and stuff like that in the park and do all type of yoga and you know, all type of exercise and cardio and whatever. You know, I'm not a fitness freak, you know, myself by any means. So, you know, I certainly sympathize with the fact that you got to do indoor workouts here. But these people that be, you know, doing all these, you know, outdoor stuff. So the virus itself is not airborne, right? It's not an airborne disease, but it passes along by droplets, by like water drops. So like when you cough or when you sneeze or something like that, like this little moisture particles that come out of that, right? And that's how it can get passed from human to human, which is why they tell you don't touch your eyes, don't touch your mouth, don't touch your nose or anything like that. Now, those particles can make their way into your body, but as long as you get it to go to your stomach instead of your lungs, you know, the stomach acid can kill you know, that virus. You just don't want it to get into your lungs, right? But why put yourself at risk in the first place? Because, and I said all that to get to this point, when somebody who is infected with the virus coughs or sneezes, they might not know that they're infected. And those droplets, while the disease itself is not airborne, those droplets can stay in the air up to 3 hours. So you think you're doing a little innocent thing because you want to stay, you know, fit and whatever. You want to keep your little summer body, even though we in quarantine. You want to go to the park and go on these jogs and you know, go do your cardio and all that stuff. You don't know what you're running through. Somebody could have been in that park 2 hours ago.
Yeah,
somebody in that park could have been coughing an hour, 2 hours ago, not thinking that they was infected, and now all of a sudden you walking right through them particles. Then people that going on these jogs without masks, a lot of people out here doing all these running, all this running, all these long walks and stuff without masks. They could be coughing along the street, sneezing or whatever, and then boom, somebody else walk right behind them. Come on, like y'all, people, people
I
don't
don't
read.
think I
People don't
don't
read.
think people know that. I didn't know anything about the water. Like you said, the water droplets and particles can stay in the air for 3 hours. I didn't know that. And
Hmm.
because I also say this too. I don't watch the news as often. One, because it's depressing to me, and then two, it's almost just like a constant, just like all they talk about is corona. And sometimes for my mental health, I just need to be unplugged from it. I'll hear what I need to hear and then I'll move on because it'll just make me more anxious and more
I
like
mean, you can choose what you listening to. You can choose
you
what you watching
can,
on TV
but
or.
I didn't even before corona, I would never sit and just watch a full day of news ever. Because it's just so much negativity. And for me, I'll sit and dwell on that versus like you said, taking something and just moving on. If I need the information, I'll watch it. I watch some of the presidents like what do they call it? Like the what like the corona updates or whatever that he's done.
Hmm.
I mean, I probably sat through 10 minutes of it and I'm like, okay, I can't listen to this anymore. And it's not just only because I don't like the president, but because I just felt like it, I was almost doing myself a disservice because a lot of information has come out. They've like debunked it and then said, no, don't listen to that. They told us at first don't wear masks. And then a month later it was like, oh, wear your mask everywhere. And I'm like, but y'all just told us. It's only they don't know what they're talking about most of the time. It's like they're just
Hmm.
giving us information as they get it, which is great.
the
But
the politicians don't know what they talk about. That's
right.
the thing. A lot of people out here, they're having these kickbacks that are 10 and under and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to practice social distancing as best as they can because these are things that are being mandated. These are things that the politicians are saying. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but the doctors, the actual like the scientists and different things like that, they're still saying you should limit even that type of activity too. People, like I said, they're not taking the time to actually like read the articles about things that are going on right now. So
Mm-hmm.
they're just going off, oh, my governor said, we can still go outside, we can still, have people over. No, unless that person, like, unless you got people that live with you or like maybe even live next door or something, like don't put yourself at unnecessary risk. If you invite 9 people over that live in 9 different households,
Yeah.
you don't know what's going on in their house. You don't know if one of their family members got it, or if they, one of their friends or roommates or something like that. If they just had a kickback last week and somebody that was at that party, like, come on, people don't know. People don't know. So
Yeah, it's like you said, it's trying to stay away from that risk, and then also just being smart about what you're doing, where you're going, and getting the right information. I think there's just so much information that sometimes it's hard to know who's right and who's wrong
right,
because you got your governor saying one thing, you got the president saying another. Like they just opened up Georgia. What was it last week or the week before
something
last?
like that. Yeah.
Saw freaking a video. I think it was on Shade Room. It was thousands of people out at some club or bar, and you just see people running back to their cars because I guess they weren't supposed to. I don't know what. I don't know why they were running. I don't know if the police came or something like that. But thousands of people just, and I'm just like that's too much. Like I said, I was at my cousin's house. It was 5 of us.
Club People going to bars in Georgia, people going to the
I would
beaches in
never.
Florida,
That's
people
too much.
protesting in Delaware, people protesting in like Wisconsin or wherever it was,
Mhm.
Maryland, people were out at the national. I saw a picture somebody posted last week, people were out of the National Mall in DC. Like,
What? Nah, that I'm not doing.
bruh,
That's too much. Like it's
you know what I'm
grocery store.
saying?
Yeah, it's grocery store, get supplies. I might visit my family, once or so, but I'm not going. I'm not going to be caught in the club, and I it's going to be
You're right,
off
exactly.
a
And
long time.
those same people will sit there and make the arguments like, oh, but you could get exposed to it in the grocery store. You at the same risk going to the grocery store as I am going out with my friends. Yeah, that is true. But at the same time, what I'm doing is a necessity. People need food. People need toiletries and stuff like that. You need to
Necessary
go to the store.
risk.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a necessary risk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why would you create spaces where you're putting yourself at risk when you don't have to be?
Hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're an essential worker, you need to be able to go to the gas station to fill your car up so you can get back and forth to work. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now, thankfully, we're not people that need to be out in the public doing work. We have the capability to work at home. But for those who not, they have certain requirements as well, right?
Mm.
Which is why auto service shops are still open. There's some of the, the businesses that have been labeled essential because people
Yeah.
still need to get oil changes. People still need to get their car fixed or flat tires fixed and stuff like that. All
Hmm.
of that is necessary risk. You know what I'm saying? It is, if you need to go to the post office to mail documents, right? Tax times, right? People need financial documents to mail off, different things like that. That is a necessary risk. You know what I'm saying? You have to do certain things, or you're shipping something to a loved one. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? If you're just going out because, oh, I need some sunlight, or I'm just going out because I prefer to exercise outside instead of exercising inside, or I just missed my friends, so I want to have some beers with them. You know what I'm saying? None of that is necessary. You can have virtual happy hours like we doing on Zoom right now. You can
Hmm.
drink beer in your house with your friends and talk to them just like this.
Yeah. We're doing it on Cinco de Mayo. We're doing it Cinco de Mayo Zoom that Ashley's hosting. Can't wait.
Here's my invite.
I'll check. It's all
Yeah,
girls.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
whatever.
it's
Yeah,
a
y'all see how
ladies
she be
event.
doing me? Y'all see how she be doing me?
We have girls time.
Yeah, whatever.
Boys can't come. No boys
Yeah,
allowed.
whatever.
You guys got to
Segregating. Y'all
be.
sexist. All y'all sexist. That is sexist. That is
We love
reverse
you though.
sexism.
We love you though.
Yeah, whatever. Love me and just not to invite me. Y'all see how she be doing me. Anyways, I'm off my soapbox. I've said what I need to say. If y'all
Yes.
haven't listened to me by now, y'all ain't gonna listen because you're stupid. But other than that,
Stop.
I'm off my soapbox now. Anything else that you still want to say, Mickey? I'm
No,
tired of talking about that.
I would say that for people that are dealing with, for people that feel like they found a way, kind of like you said, to stay in and kind of keep themselves busy, I would like to hear feedback in the comments. Like, tell us how you're staying busy or what you're doing. Are you doing your normal routine? Are you just relaxing? How are you?
Drop suggestions. Drop suggestions below for
Suggestions.
certain things that there
Yeah,
might be people that are looking for activities to do that might be bored at home. Drop some suggestions of activities they could do that you
shows.
found useful.
Shows to watch. Like a lot of people have been. I love documentaries. I've watched at least I think one so far. Um, if you ever had something that you wanted to learn, YouTube, of course, is a rabbit hole, but YouTube has a lot of useful information. I feel like if you
It
want to
does.
kind of research things. So for me, I like aliens. So I'm like, let's just deep dive one day into like different conspiracy theories and footage and stuff like that. So I'd like to hear people's feedback on that, how they're dealing with it, how they're keeping their mental health intact. And then also
Music. Drop music that you listening to. Shows
music.
that you watching. I'm watching Ozark right now. I know I'm late on it. I just
I
finished
haven't
season
started.
one.
Yeah,
Hi, yo, it's lit. I saw
it's
season
good.
one. I'm in the middle of season two right now. It's dope. You gotta watch that. If anything that's on Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever, any shows that y'all are watching, go ahead and drop them below if you want to recommend them. Anything
Yes,
like that. Anything you've seen on YouTube, like Mickey was talking about.
like
Just
us.
just be productive. Yeah, watch our shows. If you haven't seen our episodes, what are you watching this one when you ain't seen the other ones?
Go
Go
back
watch our
right
other
now.
ones. Go
Yeah,
watch the other ones
yeah,
and watch this one too. But
yeah.
watch all of them. you know, be
Yes.
productive. Most importantly, be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Love yourself and love the people around you, but from a distance for now. And once
Air
life gets
hug.
back to normal, y'all
Yeah,
can get back to hugging and kissing and squeezing and rubbing and all that good stuff.
twerking in the club instead of at home.
Hey, listen, I'm ready to catch a twerk. I
Hey,
am ready to catch a twerk. I've
where's
been twerkless for months. Okay,
oh my God. On Sunday, Lord, help him, Jesus. Fix it.
ain't nothing wrong with twerking.
Fix it.
God gave you the booty.
Oh my God. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and comment, like Travis said, what you guys are doing, suggestions, TV shows, things like that. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully we made you happier during Corona, talking about it and not sad, because I didn't want this to be like a downward, I didn't want this to be like a Debbie Downer type of episode, but I wanted to talk about because we hadn't really talked about Corona in detail yet. So hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you next time. Bye.